So how did practice go today?
It was good. Got a lot of work in. It's a short week, so we had to get a little bit more done today than a typical Tuesday. But we got a lot of work in, got some meetings and lifting later on today.
Was today a Tuesday practice or was it a Wednesday practice?
It's more of a Wednesday than a Tuesday. We kind of lost the Tuesday practice, so we had to, because of different styles too, we had to get a lot of scout team work in today.
How do you accelerate things as far as the game plan goes with one fewer day?
Well, you have to approach it as, the same that you do every week. I mean, you got to get prepare for what they do. That's in particular if they're different, which they are. And our guys got to really pay attention and focus. And even on the bus ride down there, we got to talk some ball and have the guys hopefully watch a little film on the way down.
What do you think the effort turned in so far by the offensive line, guys like Gerhardt, the Beer?
Yeah, they've played hard up front. We've not always played our best at times, but that's a hard-working group. As hard working as anybody we got in our team, and they got a lot of pride in each other. And every week's a different challenge. The schemes that they get up front nowadays is all over the map. So we're even facing another different front this weekend.
You always joke about you've been recruiting Rhett for his whole life, but so have you been recruiting Bryce Wolma for most of his life too?
Well, I've known him for most, I think since whatever it was, the third or fourth grade. So it was neat to watch him. I kind of kept track of him a little bit through Rhett, through his high school years, but all of a sudden here he is, a Division I prospect, and
didn't pick you guys initially, though.
Player. What's that?
Didn't pick you guys initially, though, right?
Well, I don't know. I think that was just a temporary insanity, maybe on his part. But Rhett got on him when he had committed to another school, but I'm glad he turned to us. How
did the quarterbacks do today?
Well, I think we threw the ball pretty well today. We've been throwing a lot in practice, and we had a few drops and a few things, a few missed throws, but I thought I saw the field pretty well in practice.
Speaking of the drops, you talked about how talented the wide receiving core is. A lot of those guys, though, are inexperienced. How do you think they played against Houston, and how do you think they've done overall so far?
Well, I don't think we've had our best game. I think they competed hard. They're practicing hard. It's a close group, and they're a pretty intelligent group. A lot of those guys can play multiple positions. But we had a couple drops. We had a couple things that normally they wouldn't have.
So with those couple plays that Sean Poindexter couldn't come down with in the end zone, is that just like a guy who doesn't have that much experience in those situations, and maybe he does make those plays later on?
I hope so. He's made those plays in practice, and they had some pretty good defense. They had hands right there in the way, but we've seen him make some phenomenal catches in practice, and he'll make them in the game.
When you see J.J. Taylor cutting back on that one run, what's kind of going through your mind?
Well, for most people, you're like, what is he doing? But for JJ, he seems to get out of a lot of tough situations. He's got better vision than any of us do. He's got the shiftiness to do it. But there are times, too, we tell him, hey, JJ, you have the ability to do that, but sometimes you also have enough speed just to stick your foot in the ground and go north. So there was once or twice, but it's hard to argue with his success.
Do you pay much attention to whether or not a guy's rated 4 stars or whatever?
Oh, I think you see that for sure. I don't. It's not the determining factor whether you recruit him or not, but I think you look at it. As I said, a lot of times, would I take a class of 25 5-stars? You bet. Even though they all may not make true 5-stars, they're probably pretty good. And those guys do a pretty good job of ranking them, but sometimes they rank them too high, and sometimes they rank them, a lot of times, rank guys way too low. We just try to find the best guys we can get for our program.
So the QB sweep game wasn't quite as effective against Houston as it had been the previous week. Was there something they were doing or you guys weren't doing?
Yeah, they were getting off blocks better. I think assignment-wise, we were pretty solid, but they got off blocks a lot quicker than the other team did.
So you guys ran the end around in the first game, and then a fake end around, and then faked a couple times against Houston. Is that a design thing, or does the quarterback have the option of whether to pitch it?
No, we run both. We run the reverse and the fake reverse. That's part of the normal package.
Overall, his attitude where you wanted it today?
Yeah, its attitude's been great. Most coaches will probably say that even if they weren't being honest, but it really has for 6 weeks or however long we started practice. Their attitude's been terrific, and they've worked. And there's been a couple practices where I wanted them to be a little bit more engaged and enthused, but it's very rarely that I've had to do that.
On a scale